Hello guys, I am Vaishali Kikan and we are discussing chemistry. So today our chapter is the quantity in the chemical formulas and we are going to discuss a lot of concepts and numericals in this subject. So let's start our discussion with the combustion analysis, which is the first concept that we have to discuss. What is the combustion analysis? In the combustion analysis, we are identifying the unknown organic compounds. We don't know the molecular formula or the empirical formula. What are molecular and empirical formula? We are going to discuss. We don't know the formula of the organic compound. We don't know which elements are present in this compound, and we have to identify the elements and the subscripts also. So this is a technique which is known as a burn and sniff tool. Right, so what we are doing in this technique, the sample is burned in the plentiful of oxygen for the complete combustion to take place. Right, we are supplying a lot of oxygen, we are burning the sample. Now, after burning this organic sample, the carbon dioxide and the water vapors are produced. Now, these carbon dioxide and the water vapors are absorbed by chemicals in two successive chambers, and when these are absorbed in the two successive chambers, the mass of the chamber will change, and when the mass of the chamber will change, we can calculate the mass of CO2 and H2O produced as the changed mass. The initial mass is subtracted from the final mass, right? So final mass would be the higher mass and the initial mass of the chamber is subtracted, we will get the mass of CO2 or H2O, right? So again we can use the mass spectrometer also to find out the molecular mass. Now first of all we are adding the oxygen, you can see in the figure, then we are doing the combustion of the compound to be analyzed. You can see we have place the compound to be analyzed and we are now doing the combustion of this. Now we are placing the catalyst in the oven to complete decomposition, right? And after that we are finding out the amount of the H2O and CO2 from the water scrubber and the CO2 scrubber, and the unused O2 and the other compounds are removed, right? So now coming to the second concept, that is the percentage composition. What is the percentage composition? Here we are finding out the percentage by mass of each element in the compound. Each element is found out as a percentage in the compound. So percentage of the element is calculated as the given mass of the element upon the total mass of the sample multiplied with 100%. So the mass of the element will be represented either in gram or AMU. The mass of the sample is also represented in the same unit. So the percentage composition will not be having any unit. Now coming to the law of definite proportion. According to the law of definite proportion, the element in a compound are always in the same proportion by mass. Right, so if I find out the percentage of hydrogen and oxygen in the water, so if I take 1 gram of water, 10 gram of water, 40 gram of water, percentage of hydrogen and oxygen will remain fixed. So based upon this, we have a sample problem which states a 500 milligram tablet of aspirin C9H10H8O4 contains 300 milligram carbon and 8.08 milligram hydrogen. The remaining mass is oxygen. Determine the percentage composition of aspirin. So first of all we have to find the percentage composition of carbon. The percentage composition of carbon will be equal to the percentage the mass of the carbon divided by the mass of the sample. What is the sample? Sample is aspirin. So mass of carbon divided by the mass of aspirin multiplied with 100%. Right? So 300 milligram of carbon is there. So mass of carbon is 300. What is the mass of aspirin? It is 500. So 300 divided by 500 multiplied with 100, which is 60%. So this is the percentage of carbon. Similarly, we can find out the percentage of hydrogen as the mass of hydrogen divided by the mass of the overall sample, that is the mass of aspirin multiplied with 100%. Mass of hydrogen, it is given, it is 8.08 milligram divided by the mass of aspirin, which is 500 milligram multiplied with 100. So both of them are having same unit, so they are cancelled out, units are cancelled out, and the percentage composition is 1.62 for hydrogen. Similarly, we have the percentage composition of oxygen as 100 minus the percentage composition of carbon and the percentage composition of hydrogen. So the carbon, hydrogen and oxygen, only are making the aspirin. So aspirin will be having carbon, hydrogen and oxygen atom only. We have found out the percentage of carbon, percentage of hydrogen. Now the total percentage is 100. So now I can subtract the percentage of carbon and hydrogen from 100 to find out the percentage of oxygen, because the mass of oxygen is not given. We cannot find out the percentage composition of oxygen directly. So percentage composition of oxygen will be equal to 100 minus 60, which is the percentage composition of carbon, plus 1.62, which is the percentage composition of hydrogen, which is 100 minus 61.62, that is 38.38 percentage. So this is how we can solve this question. Coming to the next question, which states determine the percentage composition of calcium hydroxide CaOH2. So now we have to find out the molar mass, right? Because the masses are not given. Now we are going to represent the percentage composition in the terms of molar mass, right? So molar mass of compound I can find out. We know the molar mass of calcium is 40.08 U, and the molar mass of oxygen is 32 U, right? So here we have twice of oxygen. So molar mass of oxygen in this compound would be 32. The molar mass of hydrogen would be 1.01 into 2, that is 2.02. So the total molar mass of CaOH2 would be 40.08 plus 32 plus 2.02, which is 74.10. Right? So 74.10 U is the molar mass of CaOH2 sample. Percentage of calcium will be equal to the molar mass of calcium divided by the molar mass of CaOH2 multiplied with 100. So 40.08 U divided by 74.10 U multiplied with 100, which is 54.09 percentage. Similarly, I can find out the percentage of oxygen. The percentage of oxygen would be 32U divided by 74.10U multiplied with 100. 32 is the molar mass of oxygen in this compound. So the percentage of oxygen is 43.18. Now you can find out the percentage of hydrogen by subtracting the percentage of oxygen and calcium added from 100% or by direct method. Percentage of hydrogen can be represented as molar mass of hydrogen, which is 2.02 U divided by 74.10 U multiplied with 100, which is 2.73 percentage. Right, now we are moving to the next concept, which is the empirical formula. Empirical formula are the formulas which are having same percentage composition. Like if I talk about methanol, methanol is having the formula CH2O. Ethanoic acid is also having the formula CH2O. This is the simplest formula, right? If I cancel out all of the subscript which are in ratio, so I will be getting CH2O. Percentage composition states the carbon is 40%, hydrogen is 6.7% and oxygen is 53.3% in both of the compounds. In methanol as well as ethanoic, the percentage of carbon is 40, percentage of hydrogen is 6.7 and the percentage of oxygen is 53.3. Right, now coming to the empirical formula. Empirical formula's definition states that empirical formula shows the simplest whole number ratio of the elements in the compound. Right, so we need to find out what is the simplest whole number ratio of elements. Now in the molecular formula, we now need to represent the exact number of each type of atom in a molecular compound. What is the exact number of element? If I have C2H4, its empirical formula would be CH2 and the molecular formula would be C2H4. So a molecular formula shows the element symbols and exact number of each type of atom in a molecular compound. Right, so now again we are comparing methanol and ethanoic acid, which is having the empirical formula CH2O. Both of them are having the empirical formula CH2O, but molecular formula of methanol is CH2O, whereas ethanoic acid is C2H4O2. Right, so you can see the structure of the methanol. Methanol is CH and double bond O over here, and ethanoic acid is CH3, C double bond OH. Right. So now coming to the question based upon it. So question states find the empirical formula of a compound with percentage composition 35.4% of sodium and the remaining nitrogen. Right, so here percentages are given and we are dealing with masses, right? So what we are going to do, we are going to consider the mass of the compound to be 100 gram. This is the simplest mass that we can consider. So if I have 100 gram of compound, sodium here is 35.4%. In the 100 gram, 35.4% would be 35.4 gram. So sodium is 35.4 gram. The remaining is nitrogen. So nitrogen is 100 minus 35.4 gram, which is 64.6 gram. So again, if any case like this appears, you have to consider the total mass of the compound to be 100 for make the calculation simpler. right? So now coming to the amount of each element. So first of all, we have to calculate the number of moles. For the number of moles, we are dividing the given mass by the molar mass, right? For the sodium, I know the molar mass is 22.99. right? Given mass we had calculated, it is 35.4. 35.4 gram multiplied with 1 mole divided by 22.99, it is giving me 1.540 mole. Similarly, we can find out the amount of nitrogen in the moles. So the given mass of the nitrogen is 64.6 gram and the molar mass is 14.01 gram. So we are going to divide 64.6 by 14.01 to get 4.6110 mole. Now we found out the number of moles for the sodium and for the nitrogen. Right, so simplest whole number ratio we have to find out. For that we have to see which one of them is smallest and we are going to divide both of them with the smallest number. So 1.540 is the smallest among these two numbers. So number of moles of sodium divided by the number of moles of sodium gives me 1.540 divided by 1.540 gives me 1. Number of moles of nitrogen divided by the number of moles of sodium gives me 4.6110 divided by 1.540, right? We are going to divide both of the amounts by the smaller amount 1.540. Here I got 2.98, right? I know in the empirical formula the subscripts are rounded off, right? So 2.98 is rounded off to 3. So here the ratio would be 1:2.98, which is rounded off to 1:3. So we will be having Na(N)3, right? So this is how we will be getting the empirical formula. Now coming to the next question, which states determine the empirical formula of a compound that contains 69.9% of iron and 30.1% of oxygen by mass. Right, so percentage of mass is given. Again we are going to consider the mass of compound as 100 gram. 100 gram of sample will contain 69.9 gram of iron and 30.1 gram of oxygen. So molar mass of iron, I know it is 55.85 gram per mole, and molar mass of oxygen also I know, which is 16 gram per mole. So number of moles of iron would be given mass upon molar mass 69.9 divided by 55.85, which is 1.2516 mole. Number of moles of oxygen also we can find out, which is the given mass upon molar mass. So in the 100 gram of sample we have 69.9 gram of iron because we have 69.9% of iron. 30.1% of oxygen represent 30.1 gram of oxygen. So given mass of oxygen is 30.1 gram, molar mass we know for oxygen is 16 gram. So when I divide that to find out the number of moles or amount, we are going to get 1.8813. Now we have to find out the simplest whole number ratio. For that we are going to divide both of them with the smallest number. Smallest number is 1.2516. So number of moles of iron divided by the number of moles of iron gives 1.2516 divided by 1.2516 gives me 1. Number of moles of oxygen divided by number of moles of iron gives me 1.8813 divided by 1.2516 gives me 1.5. So now here we are not getting the whole number ratio. Empirical formula according to the calculation is Fe1O 1.5, but the subscript has to be in whole number, so we are going to multiply both of them by 2. Empirical formula becomes Fe2O3. Coming to the next question, which states determine the empirical formula of the compound that contains 52.2% of carbon, 6.15% of hydrogen and 41.7% of oxygen. Here we have 3 elements, right? So now we are going to find out the percentage of all of them, right? So here again we are considering the 100 gram sample. In the 100 gram sample we have 52.2% of carbon. So in the 100 gram sample the carbon would be 52.2 gram. In the 100 gram sample hydrogen percentage is 6.15%. So hydrogen in gram is 6.15 gram. Oxygen is 41.7%, so oxygen in gram in 100 gram sample is 41.7 gram. We know the molar mass of carbon also, which is 12.01 gram per mole. Molar mass of hydrogen is 1.01 gram per mole, and molar mass of oxygen is 16 gram per mole. Right, so now we are going to find out the amount in the number of moles. So number of moles of the carbon is a given mass upon molar mass 52.2 divided by 12.01 mole, which is 4.3464 moles. So here we have found out the number of moles of carbon or amount of carbon. Similarly, we can find out the number of moles of hydrogen as 6.15, which is the given mass divided by the molar mass, which is 1.01, which is giving me 6.0891 moles. This is the amount of hydrogen or the number of moles of hydrogen. Similarly, we can find out the number of moles of oxygen, given mass upon molar mass, 41.7 divided by 16, which is 2.6063 moles. So now we have to find out the simplest whole number ratio. For that, we are going to divide all three amounts by the smallest amount. Smallest amount among them is the amount, the number of moles of oxygen. So we are going to divide all of them by the number of moles of oxygen. Number of moles of oxygen divided by the number of moles of oxygen gives me 2.6063 divided by 2.6063 gives me 1. Similarly, number of moles of carbon divided by the number of moles of oxygen gives me 4.3464 divided by 2.6063 gives me 1.67. Similarly, number of moles of hydrogen divided by the number of moles of oxygen gives me 6.0891 divided by 2.6063 gives me 2.29. So empirical formula according to these ratio is C1.67H2.29O1. So we all know the subscripts has to be the whole number. We are going to multiply all of the subscript by 3 and thus we are going to get the empirical formula as C5H7O3, which is the correct answer. Now coming to the importance of the molecular formula. Molecular formula gives the exact number of atoms of each element present. So here we have three organic compound which have the molecular formula C2H4O. All of these three have the molecular formula C2H4O. You now can see we have the different parameters of all of them. First of all, let's talk about ethanol. Ethanol is called the acetaldehyde. It is used in the production of particle board. Right, so it has the molar mass 44.05 and the molecular formula is C2H4O and the structure is CH3 C double bond OH. Now coming to the second compound, which is ethyl ethanoate, which is also known as ethyl acetate. It is used as a solvent in glue. So you can see both of them have the same empirical formula, whereas both of them has really different properties. Molar mass also is very different, 88.10. Now the molecular formula is C4H8O2 and the structural formula is CH3 C double bond OO CH2 CH3. Right, coming to the next compound, which is 2,4,6-trimethyl-1,3,5 trioxane, which is also known as paraldehyde, right? So it is used as a central nervous system depressant or it is used as an anesthetic. So it is having the molecular mass as 132.15 and the molecular formula is C6H12O3. So structure formula is like this. It's a rings type of structure which is having the 3CH3, the 3 methyl group connected to the 3 carbon atoms and all of them are connected to the oxygen atom. So you can see all of them are having different properties, different uses, different molecular formula and different molar mass as well. So I hope you understood all of the concept that I have discussed and I hope you are going to meet me soon in the next class. Thank you so much.